We humanize God. We think God is like us, thinks like us, want to punish us, want to, this is a human thinking, not God's thinking. If God created all this universe and everything, He would and created us and give us a brain to think with. He just want to let us be and live our life. Then it's up to us with our free will to do good or bad. He doesn't need our prayer. He doesn't need us to fast for Him or to ask Him for forgiveness or to ask Him for things.
Do you believe in a God?
Yeah, God created this universe. Yes, they make more sense, but not necessarily the God we think.
No problem. I agree with
Because
you.
we humanize God. We think God is sat there, watching us. He's get angry if we don't do and things like that. So.
Yes. Yeah, I agree with you.
I
That
think
a lot
it's too much human thinking.
Yeah.
God is bigger than anything we can ever think of.
Absolutely.
So why don't we humanize Him and give Him names and give Him, sifat? He's like this, he's like that. He's sat on a throne and all this. He's got heaven, he's got hell. This is, I think, is only people's thoughts. People thinking and imagination.
Do you believe God is one?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Do you believe He's independent?
You can say that, yeah.
Do you believe He's pre and post eternal?
Eternal, yeah, you can say that.
And from what you said, there's nothing like Him, yeah?
You can say that.
Yeah? Okay. You believe God sent revelation?
Not necessary.
Okay. So the when it comes to the books that we have, that we claim to be revelation, what's your criteria to determine if something is truly revelation or not? What criteria would you have?
What do you mean? What's correct?
So, for example, someone brings a book and says this is Harry Potter book.
Yeah.
And you will have certain criteria in your head that you will use to check it. So you will say, okay, let me check the name of the author.
Yeah.
Let me go on the inside
But
page.
don't you think this is a bit humanized as well?
No,
we're thinking. We are just thinking. We have those thoughts in our heads.
We'll come to this. We'll come to this because these are good points. But so far, let's link it to certain things.
Yeah, but it's not necessary. All this, I think, is not necessary. We don't have to think it that way.
We don't need to think. Is that what you're saying?
We don't need to think it that way. That we need to see. We need to.
Okay, so let's go a step backwards. So when you're saying there is a God, did you see God?
No.
Did you experience God?
No, I don't need to.
So how did you come to the conclusion that there's a God?
Well, I just think, there is a creator who created all this.
Just think that there's a creator who created all of this.
Just think, really.
Think.
Just
Yeah.
all thoughts.
So with your thoughts and your thinking, you came to the conclusion that there is a God, right?
Let's say, yes.
Okay, what else did you use
But
to
I'm not sure.
You're not sure.
Yeah.
But most likely you're saying that this is the case compared to the other scenarios and situations.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So you're giving some attention to thinking, right?
Yeah.
Now the God that's created us, that you said is one, independent, pre and post eternal and nothing like it. This God, do you think He is intelligent?
I don't want to think about it that way. To think about He's intelligent, because this is all, again, we're going down to the human thinking.
No problem.
We think like that. We're human beings. We have the thoughts. We think He's intelligent. We think He's God. He just created this thing, and we don't know who He is. We don't know what it looks like. He's intelligent or not.
We can infer though, right?
We don't want to humanize Him.
We can
Because
infer.
we're humans, we humanize things. We give them our purpose, we give them our thoughts. We think they look like this because we have good imagination.
Yeah.
Our imagination take us everywhere.
But our thoughts...
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but there's two types of thoughts. One is a random thought with no evidence. Another one is a thought with evidence. So it's not... So you need to distinguish between the two. Like you thinking that there's a God, the God is one, independent, pre and post eternal, and nothing like
what
it.
I think.
Yeah, but this is based upon logic and common sense, correct?
Well, if you
Or you
think
use
it
no
that
common
way,
sense?
if you think it that way, yes. But I don't even want. I just want to believe it in my heart, and He's there, and not like we other religious think about Him.
Okay.
Like
If we don't think about him,
intelligent, he's this,
we don't
he's
want to
that, he's
humanize
sat
him.
there,
I got you. I got you.
he's got heaven, he's got hell. You know what I mean? So
You've said that.
yeah.
I've understood.
Why don't you in my heart?
Why don't you
and-
worship tree?
Because tree, I do see that tree, so I don't have to believe in because the tree will not do nothing to me.
Well, tree
If I-
doesn't give you fruit.
I
It doesn't
don't-
clear the air for you. It's called the lungs of the earth.
But again, don't you think if I keep asking God,
One thing
you
at a
know,
time.
it's just-
With
yeah.
tree, why don't you worship the tree?
I don't have to. Why
I know
do
you don't have to.
Yes,
But my question is, why don't you?
because I don't want to.
Why?
Because it's a tree.
That's not really an explanation, is it?
Oh, okay.
But
Well,
you
I
don't
know what
worship the tree. Let's go
explanation
back.
You want.
The
Why-
explanation that
yeah.
is genuine. Like,
Yeah.
what's the genuine reason you wouldn't worship a tree?
I don't know. Just don't want to worship it.
You don't want to worship it
No.
because it doesn't
It doesn't.
help you, doesn't assist you. That was your initial answer. Is that your main
I
answer?
No, even I'm not. Look, again, asking God for help. It's wrong again
I'm
to
not
do.
talking about God. At the moment, I'm just talking
okay.
about
All
tree.
right, okay, tree. Yes.
Yeah. You don't worship tree, yeah?
No.
Will you worship tree tomorrow?
No.
But you're thinking, right? This is thinking.
Yes.
Don't think, just do. According to your logic, you should be worshipping tree, you should be worshipping the fence, and you should some days
no,
don't
not
worship
necessary.
tree.
Not necessary.
Some days you don't worship,
no,
some
I'd
days
rather
you
to
worship.
worship something that I don't know, I haven't seen, I don't know what it looks like, I don't know
Why?
what it is.
But you're thinking.
Better.
Don't. It's not good to think according to your criteria.
Why?
Don't think. Don't put labels on things. Don't just do whatever.
You're
Why are you
confusing
thinking?
me here?
You're confusing
No.
yourself because hey, when I ask you about
Yeah.
why you're not worshipping tree,
Because
and
I
in
don't want
terms
to
of
worship
God,
tree, I want to worship something that I don't know, some
Why?
power out there that
Why?
I don't know. What do you mean why? Because that's what I want. You're asking
why
me
do you want that? There's a reason why you don't want to
Because I
worship
think
tree and
that's
something.
the right thing for me.
You
It's
think.
my sense.
Don't think though.
My
Why are you
common
thinking?
sense. So you don't want me to think.
You don't want to think.
Alright, we're going down the rabbit hole here.
We're in the rabbit hole already. We're already in the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
You've just realized this now because you're
Yeah.
saying there you want to think, with the tree and with everything else you don't want to think. So I want to establish a criteria
Yeah.
about the criteria of thinking and how we think and the conclusions that we reach. So there are certain ways that we think, yeah? I think there is going to be a dancing pink elephant over there.
Yeah.
Do you think that's reasonable?
No, it's not reasonable.
It's not reasonable.
Yeah, okay.
But I'm using thinking, you're using
Thinking?
thinking. Did you see the pink elephant?
No.
But human attributes and this and that, no, you straight away said no. If I say there's a possibility all the way over there
Yeah.
that there could be a guy, a person called Brian from the Caribbean, is that possible?
Yeah, possible, yeah, okay.
What are you using to come to the answer?
Because you described something that is more logical, yeah, right?
Logical,
yeah,
common sense.
Common sense, yeah.
So there are certain things that we can arise to using our common sense and reasoning
So, yeah.
and our experience.
Yes.
So
But
bearing these things in
yes,
mind,
yeah.
that's what we're using. We're using logic, common sense, reasoning, argumentation to see what is possible,
Yeah.
to see what is not possible, what is true, what is not true.
Yeah.
We use this, yeah?
Of course, we have brains to think with.
Okay.
Yeah. So
We have information, we have knowledge. The one who created us, would he also have information and knowledge?
But again, you see, the one who created us is that one who created us is not like us.
I've already
He's not a
agreed with
human
you.
being, he's not like us.
Absolutely.
He doesn't think like us.
Absolutely,
so
I
he's
agree.
bigger than us and
Yes.
everything we think of. So
Agreed.
why do we have to think of him like us?
Okay. Is bacteria like us?
Is bacteria like us?
Yes.
Bacteria is an organism, yeah.
But it can I compare bacteria? Is bacteria like human being?
Oh, we're all different. Yeah, every
Different,
organism
yeah?
is different. Yeah.
But if I
Every-
ask the question, does a bacteria have knowledge? You're not going to say bacteria is different
we're
to
lucky. We
us.
have brains. We think about. We have
Good,
neurons.
good,
we have
good,
memories.
good.
We have things.
There are
That's why
certain,
we're different. Yeah.
There are certain traits, certain qualities that are common in everything.
Okay.
Think about this.
Mm-hmm.
There are certain things that are common in everything.
Yes.
Yeah. For example, knowledge is common in everything.
Knowledge.
Yes,
common in
knowledge.
everything.
So we can
Okay.
compare things. A rock doesn't have knowledge. Bacteria, we can say, has knowledge because it is doing certain actions.
Certain, yeah.
Yeah?
And their
Human
in
being
their genes
has-
or DNA or whatever. Yeah.
Absolutely. DNA is information. Human beings, we have information, we have DNA. Book has information. So there are certain things that are common in all of these things. So things don't have to be identical for you to say that they have a common trait or quality. Are you with me so far? Yeah? So me comparing myself to a bacteria doesn't mean I'm the same as the bacteria. There are certain things that are common. For example, size. That is small in size, I am big in size. That is small in knowledge, I am big in knowledge. The bacteria experiences reality different to how I experience reality. With me so far?
I am with you so far. So you
Good.
say you're gonna say God experience like us, thinks like us, have same thoughts like us, and is that
No,
what
it's
you wanna
because
say?
you have this in your head that human beings personify God. I already told you right at the
Personalize
beginning.
God, yeah.
Personify means to turn something into a human that's not a human. That's what your argument in essence is.
Humanly thoughts, humanly thinking.
Yeah, that's personification.
Yeah.
So, and I get that, and I already agreed with you at the beginning. But my whole argument is based on the notion that that's wrong. I already accepted that. And then we're now finding out what we can say about God and where we should stay agnostic about God and say, Wallahu a'lam, we don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah? Now, would you say, yeah, that for someone of something to create another thing, does it need to have a form of intelligence?
Yeah, but the intelligence not the same intelligence we have.
Agreed, absolutely. I already agree with you from the
Yeah,
beginning.
yeah.
Yes. Intelligence, correct?
Well, yes, something.
Wisdom.
My little brain cannot.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100. Both of us, this is you, this is me. We're
Yeah.
standing together.
Yeah.
And then the other people that are making God into, they're on the other side.
Yeah.
We are together, you and me. Okay. So, he has intelligence. Do you believe that the creator of everything that you see around you, he had wisdom?
Okay, you can say that.
Good.
Yeah.
Because the definition of wisdom is giving everything its due, right, and interconnecting things in a way that they become functional. For example, if I give your child a lot of parts for a watch, your child will, hit them together, pieces for watch,
Yeah.
they will not make a watch. A watchmaker comes, he knows where the part goes and he puts the parts together, he makes watch.
But
This
again,
is called,
you
I'm using a human analogy.
use a human analogy.
Yeah.
Yes.
The reason why I'm using a human analogy is because you're a human. I
Yes.
can't use an alien analogy because you're not an alien, yeah?
Exactly.
So that's
so
why.
that's what I'm saying. It's something above our
Absolutely.
all thoughts.
Absolutely.
So because we are humans, we need to justify things and make them look like we think and all that. But
Let me give you an example.
bigger picture.
Let me
is
give you an
God is
example.
Just
Have you
bigger
ever
than that.
have you ever seen the picture of an atom?
no.
You know the picture of the atom.
No,
the-
picture of atom.
Atom,
Yeah, this
yeah.
looks like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
haven't seen it with atom
Yeah,
with my eyes.
we can't see it with our eyes. The picture of the atom is fake. Atoms do not look like this.
Oh no, I know what you're saying. Yes.
Yeah.
Waves and
Yeah.
electrons
No.
going around.
Protons and neutrons make
Yeah.
the nucleus, and then
yeah.
you've got the electrons that are
Electrons
whizzing around,
whizzing around.
and that
form
with
of
the-
a wave or form of a particle.
that's light.
Yeah.
So at the moment I'm talking about the atom, not a photon.
Not the electron that it goes around the
Yes.
The
So
nucleus.
this is a diagram for us to understand what a atom is, so we can learn about it. We're told atoms don't look like this. Atoms, you're not going to zoom in on a microscope and think this. It's a way for us to understand it, like you said, in our limited understanding.
Yeah.
Similarly, there are words that are used. For example, when it comes to paradise, you're aware of this. Paradise has rivers of milk,
Yeah.
rivers of honey, and all of this. But what does Allah say? When the Prophet tried to describe it, tell them, paradise is like no eye has ever seen, no ear has ever heard, no mouth has ever spoken about. Yeah? That no mind has ever comprehended. That's how it is. So there are things that we say about paradise, and I would say by extension that we say about Allah is for us to understand Him, but we do not say that's how Allah is in actuality. Are you with me so far? Yeah.
Just to have like
An understanding.
understanding.
For example, when you're telling your child something, most what you were told when you were about 8 years old, most of what you were told about maths, English, science is wrong. That's not how geography works. That's not how maths works. That's not how science works. However, for a child, you break things down, you explain things in such a way that they will understand. That does not now mean that that child can go to a nuclear reactor and use that knowledge to solve the
of course
problems
not. Yeah,
there.
yeah, of course not. Yeah.
If for you to do that, you will have to go more and more into it, but there will eventually be a wall that you will hit. There's a limit.
Yeah.
Similarly over here, there are certain words that are used, however, you're aware, وَلَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُ كُفُوًا أَحَدٍ. There is none like
There is
Allah.
a question in this, or there is no question?
Sorry?
In this dialect, there is no question here, or only one-to-one?
Yeah, he asked the question.
Yeah, I did ask question, but still it's okay.
Yeah, it
If
was
you
a
have- you have
very deep question.
Yeah.
Yeah, go
You
on.
want to ask a question? But ask
Yeah.
after him, yeah?
Well, him or you?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Let me finish.
No,
Let me
you
finish
fin-
that
yeah,
point,
sorry.
yeah?
Yes.
So, وَلَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُ كُفُوًا أَحَدٍ. There's none like
Him.
onto
Ah,
Allah. Yeah,
yes.
there's none like him.
Like him.
Now, this is a surah that we
Yes.
recite every day. Surah Kawthar
Yeah.
and Surah Ikhlas, they're the most recited surahs in the
وَلَمْ
world.
يَكُنْ لَهُ كُفُوًا أَحَدٍ.
Yeah,
Yes.
you know this, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. So Muslims, we understand this. There's nothing like Allah. However, when we are describing certain things, we will describe using the limitations of the English language. If I said that Allah has a saragu,
Saragu.
yeah, saragu.
What's Saragu? Sorry.
Saragu it comes from the lagaru.
What's Lagaru?
Lagaru and saragu are derived from a nagagu. Do you see?
Right.
So you ask me, what does it mean? If I tell you a nagagu is actually the 51st element on the periodic table, makes sense, right? But
Yeah.
now you know what a nagagu is. Yeah, but now the problem is,
Okay.
someone like you comes and says, but you're talking about periodic table. Or you're talking about element. This is human understanding. These are human words. This is human understanding. But of course, we need to have a human understanding of a certain concept of God. But then beyond that, we say,
Allahu A'lam.
Allahu A'lam. So
Allah,
there's a
I
limit.
prefer to have the Allahu A'lam
Yes.
than giving it my thoughts.
Yes.
And using my thoughts.
We are
to
very
give it
similar.
Sifat and things like that.
But some sifat, they can be arrived to logically. For example, one. You
Yeah.
agreed he was one, and you used your aql to say he is one. Then you agreed with the fact that he's independent. You use your aql to say he's independent. Pre and post eternal. You use the aql.
Yeah.
And then you said nothing like him, nothing like
And then I can just stop there and not go too much further because I started to give it too much
And that's
human
fine.
thoughts.
There's no
It's
issue with
better
that.
for me to stop there and have it in my heart
This is
and be
Surah
a good
Ikhlas.
person and make sure my akhlaq and I am a very good person, not hurt anybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is very good now.
And that's most important.
How do you become a good person? Where do you learn this from?
Well, you know it. You're born with this.
Give me an example.
What do you mean? Give me an example.
Give
you
me an
know,
example
you grow
of a-
up and you know what's wrong.
No,
you know
give
what's
me an
right.
example of something that is
Yeah.
wrong, that you believe is wrong.
Hurting other people, being bad to other people.
Let's stick with one, yeah?
Yes.
You said hurting somebody else.
Yes.
This is wrong.
Yes,
Completely, yeah?
completely. Yeah.
Okay.
As long as, yeah,
Okay. Boxing.
yeah.
You think boxing is wrong?
Well, boxing, it's hurting other people. It's sort of, yeah,
It's wrong.
yeah, because you're hurting other person. Yes.
So you don't, okay.
So yeah.
Football is wrong.
Well, it's a sport. Again, you're going into so many things can be wrong in some ways, can be challenging,
Okay.
or games, depend where you put them,
Okay.
But again, when I say hurting other people, is hurting the other person, making the other person feel hurt, or force them to do something they don't want, or or so many things.
So if my child has a plaster,
Yeah,
and they don't want to take the plaster off, and I say no, you must take it off, and they say no, I take it off. Am I wrong?
If you do it for his benefit, for his good,
But you
Maybe he doesn't
keep
know.
changing. First you said harming is
no,
bad.
No, hurting. You know what I'm saying?
One second.
Hurting, not on the benefit of someone, of a child, because the child he doesn't know his own,
So
how to
first-
make his own decisions.
listen.
But someone adult who knows his own decisions, and he tell you don't take the plaster, and you take it without his.
Okay.
That's hurting.
So
But
first,
for a kid he doesn't have the brain to make his own decision yet. So you look
One second.
after it.
One second. So first, it's don't hurt people completely and totally. Yeah? Then the second criteria is with regards to not hurting people, consent. You brought in consent. Then the third criteria you brought in was age. So there's three criteria you brought in. Yeah. But if
Because
I
you
know-
give me one question.
But that's what I'm saying.
General, yeah.
Yeah. So now, is this the three criteria you said about harming? Is this something we all agree on?
All agree on them. Some people have different ideas.
How do we decide?
How do we decide?
Yeah, what
we
is
can't
right and
really we can't really decide what's right or wrong. We all see it different. There is the good and there is the bad in this world.
You said we're born with it, right?
In the book of God.
Yes, but we can still see. I don't know how we all feel it. Humans. As
But
humans,
you just said we all feel differently. You said we feel differently.
Yes, some people think when they do bad, they think it's the right thing to
Yes,
do.
they like it.
Yeah.
Some people,
So, that's
MMA,
why-
they love it. They like beating
exactly.
somebody and blood coming out.
Yeah, I agree. Do bad.
And if
It's just
he
the rules now that
and if he
stops
has-
many people doing the bad.
if he
but
has
if you let
consent,
them-
he has consent, the other person agrees, and the other person is fighting him, does that make it okay?
There is no proof.
Sorry, is that person agrees?
So two people fighting, they both have consent, they are both adults, and they're both getting paid, and they're both hurting each other and giving each other brain damage. Is that okay?
It's not okay in one way. Look, as
He thinks it's okay.
Yeah, some people would think it's okay. I think it's not okay.
But
we
you
all
said we're
see
born with it,
different-
right?
And
why
we're
do
born
you
with
think it's-
everything. That God is giving us everything. He's giving us the good and He's giving us the bad. Okay? And it's up to us to choose from the good and from the bad.
I believe in
Some things God has told us.
That's why
For
you see a
example,
lot of
listen,
bad
listen.
and you see a lot of good.
God
in
told
this
us
world.
not to do abortion, yeah?
Call him God.
People do abortion. What's right? What's
Some
wrong?
power, then they create this.
You think abortion is good?
Before there is
Some people say it's good, some people say it's bad.
Okay.
Everybody.
Abortion after 4 months. Abortion after 4 months because the person doesn't want to.
Yeah, that's
4 months.
something, again.
A woman doesn't want it.
Yeah.
Do you think it's okay for her to have abortion?
After 4 months, I don't have any opinion on that, to be honest. with
But
you.
God
I
says you can't do it.
God said you can do it. Again, God said you can do it. We're coming back again to God. You know.
You said God
woman
tells
I-
us right and wrong, right?
Yeah.
So God told us not to do it.
God born us with this brain.
to think with, but he didn't tell us what to. He doesn't. He don't tell us what to do or what not to do. He gives us a brain to think with.
So God create us and He just leave us.
He creates us, yes,
And He just leave us.
to think with our brain. That's why He gives us that special brain
But
to think with.
at the beginning, you said it's not good to think. Because when you think, you make God like human, and
Yes.
we leave all of that. Now you're saying we need to think, yeah?
Because we're humans, we
Yeah.
need to think
Yeah.
on our with each other, between each other. Yeah, but not to think like
me-
human is like
Tell me one thing we
you
all
know,
agree
like
on.
God is like this or is like that or is like that.
Tell me
You
one
see what
thing.
I mean?
Tell me one
Yeah.
thing we all agree on as humans.
Well, this so many things we agree on, so many things we don't agree.
Morality. In terms of right, wrong. Tell me something we all agree on.
So many things. I can't come to my head now, but
Give
you
me,
know,
if there's so many, give me one small thing.
we agree on.
Yeah.
We agree on
Because I can't think of one thing.
what we agree on.
Yes.
What we agree on.
That if something is right or wrong.
No, things we do, or things I can agree on one thing, me and you, but it's not same thing we agree with. So we all have different opinions on things.
So there
So
are.
we might agree with one person, but the other person can't agree with him on the same thing.
There's one thing we agree, all of us.
So
all
one
of us
thing,
agree
yes,
on.
all of us agree.
It was difficult to find one thing we all agree on it.
But I thought you said God created us and put this within us that we can.
He gives us a brain to think.
But if He gives us
We-
brain to
one
think
brain
and we don't agree
we
on
all
anything,
say.
then what's the point?
Well, that's the beauty of life. We don't agree.
No.
That's the beauty
The,
of
the
living.
point. The point here is
Yeah.
there is objective morality and subjective morality. You're talking about subjective morality, what each individual thinks is right and wrong. I will think it's right to harm somebody. Why? Because it protects my family. That doesn't mean that that's right. I may think it's right, but that doesn't make it right. So subjective morality and objective morality, that you don't harm somebody just because you think it's God. Sorry, you think it's good.
Good.
Now, bearing this in mind, God tells us what's right and wrong. Because as human beings, like you just admitted, we can't agree. We can't. One second.
God gave us a brain.
Yeah,
to
but we
think
don't.
with.
We don't
He
use
didn't-
this
he
brain.
don't tell us.
We don't use this
He
brain.
just give us this brain, special machine inside to think with.
We
it.
don't use this.
Well,
to think.
we have to.
Yeah, we have to.
We have to.
But look now.
Yeah.
Look, all you need to do
Doesn't
is.
need to tell us or anything. He gives us already everything here.
He does need to
He
tell
gives
us.
He already give us everything.
But people
in
don't
the
want
head.
to think. Like when I was
No, no,
speaking
no,
to
no.
you about
No,
Revelation,
no, no.
you said no, I don't like to think about this. He's
No,
given
I said
us.
I don't like to think of God as like we think it
Yeah.
as humans. He's this, he's that. He tell us
like-
that. He tell
like
us that. But already he's
But why-
created us with this brain.
But why
to
wouldn't
think.
we? If He's created us with a brain to think, why
have
wouldn't
to
we
think
think
him like
about
a
Him?
human being.
Why wouldn't we think about everything
Why
else?
do I have to humanize him?
No, there's a difference
Every
between
creation
thinking and
comes with
humanizing.
instruction manual.
Yeah, that's it. That's the brain.
So
that's your
Quran
brain.
is the instruction manual for you.
That's your brain. He gives you already.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Giving you
trying to
brain
say.
to think with.
Everything comes with instruction. Any
It's there.
creator makes anything,
Yeah.
it comes with a manual.
Yeah, it's here. We're
No,
born
no.
with it.
They give
it's
you to
already
follow.
with us, inside us. It's already
Okay.
here. We don't see it. It's our brain.
Okay.
That's our manual.
The reason why just having a brain is not enough, if just having a brain was
Brain
enough,
is something big.
Absolutely.
It's big.
I
enough.
understand. Well, for some people it's very small.
Well, some people,
Yeah.
yeah.
So when you go on the street, there is traffic lights. Why is the government wasting so much money on traffic lights? Why is the government?
don't follow.
One
Some
second.
people
One
do,
second.
some people
One
don't.
second. One second. Why is the government wasting so much money on laws? Why is there such thing as international law? Why is there such thing as a international criminal court? As we can see by certain countries, they claim to have a brain, but they don't use the brain. They will use their brain and they will justify to themselves it's okay to save our people and kill the other people. Some will say it's okay for you to, I'm using my brain for my survival only, not my neighbor. Some person will say, I will use my brain for my survival, my neighbor's survival, that's it. Somebody will
They
say,
use
I
it
will.
as they want.
Yeah, but you can't now say that something is right and wrong from your worldview. you can't go to somebody and say your view is right and wrong because your criteria is using the brain. He has used his brain and he has decided what they're doing is logical and it's rational, and from that they have concluded that what they're doing is right. You can't prove that what they're doing is right or wrong.
That's
using
why
your
the mystery of God is like that. Created all this, give you brain to think, and it's up to you. Because when we think as God as He's there, He's we need to worship Him, we need to pray for Him, we need to ask Him things, ask Him forgiveness. We're doing things because we طمع. 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 طمع في الجنة. I want to go to. If I do these things, I will go to heaven. If I do these things, I will go to hell.
Right.
So it creates this طمع. But if you just believe in God and you do the right thing without طمع, the Jannah or anything, I think that's the right thing better.
right.
Than having
What
this
if you think
I have to do this because of this. I have to do this to get this.
you claim that God's created us and God's just left us? What if God told us that He's created us and He hasn't left us and He's given us rules?
Giving us brain to think with.
Rules and revelation.
Doesn't need to give us rules because everything is in our brains. Our
brain is
rules
created,
is in
but
the
you
head.
need to-
You know, listen.
We make those rules.
Listen to what I've said.
We made them.
One
those
second,
rules.
one second.
We made
One
those
second.
rules.
Listen to what I've said.
We made those rules.
Listen to what I've said.
Yes. We made the rules. It's just our
You keep
imagination.
repeating. You keep repeating. Listen, my question was very specific. I said, what if God has revealed those rules for us? How are you now? Listen. How are you going to use your brain? The brain you've been given. The brain, the big brain. How are you going to use that to decide if that book is from God or not from God? That's the question. What's the criteria?
Just gonna think. What do you mean? What criteria? The book is from God or not God?
So somebody brings a book and says this is from God.
Yes.
You now need to prove that it's not from God. The falsification
Well, you
test.
need to prove me it's from God first before I prove you it's not from God.
The scientific method is no, I don't. I'll tell you why. Because the scientific method is based on falsification. A theory is posited. The next step that you do is you prove it to be false. If you can't prove it to be false, therefore it is true. That's the scientific method of falsification.
Okay.
So, I have made a claim. Yeah, my claim is this book is from God.
Yeah.
Falsify it. Prove it to be wrong.
I can't prove it to be wrong because you believe it is from God. So how can I prove it to be wrong?
No,
for
but
you?
I can believe he's
Yeah.
from Mars.
Yeah.
You can prove
But
that he...
I can't prove you. Yeah.
No, I can
If
prove
you
that to
think
be wrong.
If you think it's just in your imagination, it's okay.
It's okay.
Yes.
So if in your imagination I ask you who your dad is and you say a blue dragon, is that okay?
If you imagine it that way, it's your imagination. But I have
That's
my
crazy.
brain to think as well. I have my
That's
brain.
not using brain.
No.
That's using the liver.
Well, I have my brain to think. If you tell
not
me
using
something,
your brain,
I'm not
you're
just
using
gonna
your liver.
believe you just like that. You tell me.
Okay, so
try
would-
to want to prove you wrong.
So
to
on
prove
your
you
birth
false.
certificate, if your government is asking you who your dad is, would you honestly write blue dragon just because it's in your imagination?
No, I didn't say it. You said it. You said it.
Yeah, I asked you and you agreed with it.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
I said it's what you think.
I said
You think
if
it, not
you
me.
think, let me rephrase, let me
Yeah.
say it again.
You
If
said-
you imagine your father to be a
Well,
blue
I will
dragon,
not imagine that. Why
you're
said
imagining
if
right
you...
now. Because I've said it, your mind is picturing it. That's imagination.
No, well,
Yes, that's imagination.
yeah, but I'm not imagining. I'm not saying it. See,
Saying what?
my father is a dragon. I'm not saying it. In
You
my
said
head.
it now as
Yeah, well,
well.
I'm saying it loud, but I'm not.
So you understand, people say things, but we use our common sense to say if this thing is in line with common sense and logic, or if it's not in line with common sense and logic.
Yeah, but you can. Some things they can sound like common sense or logic to you, but not to another person. And this is happens
Okay,
a lot.
good. That's a good point. there are 3 laws of logic that are universal. Yeah? The law of identity, the law of excluded middle, and the law of non-contradiction. Let me give you the example of the law of non-contradiction, where they say you can't have A and not A. A equals not A. That's the law of non-contradiction, yeah? So I can't say that this is a glove and it is an elephant. It's a contradiction. Do you accept the law of non-contradiction?
Okay.
Do you accept it?
The law of non-contradiction. Yeah, go.
Which means you can't have a contradiction. Think about this, because then our conversation is going to be based on this. Do you accept it as a universal law?
Okay.
Good.
Non-contradiction.
Non-contradiction.
Yeah.
That you can't have 2 contradictory things at one place. So based on the law of non-contradiction is how we say there must only be one God.
Okay.
We used
You can say
law,
that. Yes.
yeah?
Yes. Yeah.
So there are certain things.
Yes.
Using the law of, say, cause and effect, we say
Yeah.
if humans have
Cause and effects. Yeah.
yeah,
Yes.
cause and effect.
Yes.
If there is power,
Yes.
power comes from a source with more power.
Yeah.
So using that logic,
Yeah.
we can conclude if we have power,
Yeah.
our creator should have more power than us.
I agree. Okay. Yeah.
And if we have knowledge,
Yes.
and it's coming from a creator,
Yeah.
that creator should have more knowledge than us.
Yes.
That creator should have more wisdom than us.
Okay. Wisdom. I'm
Wisdom.
not sure, but knowledge on that. Yes, I can.
I'll give you an example.
Say.
I'll give you an example.
Can we go to wisdom and things
So-
like us and this like us? I don't agree with you.
Well, knowledge is also things like us and this
Yeah, well,
like us.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have to now decide. We can't just pick and choose. Wisdom is an application of that knowledge. For example, knowing it is sunnah to smile.
Yeah.
This is knowledge, yeah? Sunnah to smile. Wisdom is not smiling at a funeral. Hikmah,
wisdom.
wisdom.
Yeah.
That I don't do this over here, I'm using
Yeah.
wisdom.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
A child can press the gas,
Yeah.
can press acceleration
That's right.
and
Yeah.
go in a straight line.
Yeah.
You don't say he's a driver. You say he's a joyrider.
Yes. Yeah.
But Lewis Hamilton,
Yeah.
who can go around the corners,
Yeah.
he knows when to slow down the car and accelerate.
Yeah.
This
Yes.
is wisdom.
Yes.
Knowing what knowledge to apply in which situation,
Yes.
at what intensity. Agreed?
Yes. Yes.
That's what I'm referring to when I say God
Yes.
has wisdom. He's
Okay.
able
Okay,
to
yes.
apply
I agree.
knowledge
Okay, yes.
in the right proportions,
Yes.
in the right aspects, and like, for
Yeah,
example,
yeah,
certain creatures will have less knowledge, certain will have more knowledge.
Yeah.
Now, next question. It's a question, yeah?
Yeah.
Is it, if you believe that God is wise, is it wise or unwise to create something for no purpose?
I cannot answer that because I don't think like God.
No, logically.
No, that's
Cause
my
and
logic.
effect.
That's,
Cause and effect.
No, there's no cause and effect here. I don't want to think like that because I'm not God. Okay? So,
But you said God is
Whatever.
powerful, yeah?
Yeah, he's
Why are you
powerful.
saying he's powerful? You're not God. Don't think like this.
sorry?
You said God is powerful.
It depends what you mean by powerful. Powerful what? Powerful.
Power. It depends what definition that you use. The potential to move. That's the physics definition.
Yeah.
The
But
potential for
again,
motion.
it's you see, it's physics definition. It's human thing. It's physics. It's
Brother,
here.
you
God
have to
is
use
a
human-
power
logic
we
is
don't
human
even
thing.
know. Yeah, exactly.
You use logic, yeah?
We use our thinking and our thoughts and our imagination to describe the world, the way
Yes.
we think,
Yes.
the way we want and think, and we think is right, and we think it serves our logic, it serves our purpose.
Okay.
It's not necessary.
One second.
It's not necessary.
I got you. I agree with you that we use our thinking to do things and all of this,
Yes.
absolutely. However, now I introduced something else, revelation. That this book claims to be from God. Now,
claims to be from God,
claims
yes.
to be from God.
Yes.
So we now need to use our thinking. We now need to use our logic. We now need to use our experience, our human understanding to decide if this book is from God or not God. How do we do this?
It's difficult.
But how? Everything is difficult.
Yeah.
Me standing here in the cold is difficult.
I'm just gonna then just use imagination and try to justify it my own way.
With the imagination,
Yes.
you might think blue dragon. That's the problem with imagination.
You could say same thing as well. I could say same thing.
No, you can't. I'll tell you why. Because we need to have objective measures to decide if this book is from God. Because if something comes from God, it is for everybody. Everybody. There needs to be criteria that everybody agrees on.
It's difficult.
It might be difficult for you. It's not difficult for me.
Yeah, because you want to believe it. You have it in
No.
your head and you believe it without any
If I want to believe,
justification.
no, you haven't spoken to me
create
before. You've never spoken to me before.
No.
You don't know my justifications. You never asked for my justifications. I'm just slowly telling you my justifications. And when I tell you my justifications, if you have reasoning, this is my view. If you have common sense and reasoning, whether it's in science or logic or philosophy,
Yeah.
you will see my argument is coherent and based upon evidence. This will be your
based on
conclusion.
evidence.
Yes. I'll give you an example.
Give me good evidence.
I'll give you an example.
Good evidence.
Yes, very good evidence. Excellent evidence. A-star evidence. I'll give you an example. If a book claims to be from God, should it be able to be changed or not changed?
Again,
We're using
look.
the brain.
we live in 2026. Okay, all what we've heard, all what came, it can be changed. We haven't seen it. We just opened our eyes and heard all these
Okay,
things.
good.
So we can't really. We will argue to, we agree
Don't
to
say
disagree
we.
on this
Don't
one.
say we. Say
You know,
you.
well,
say you.
we will not agree because so many things.
Brother, you
if we
haven't
go
heard
back
the
and hear
argument.
the
How
whole
can you say you're not
stories-
going to agree when you haven't heard the argument?
No, I already imagined it.
Okay, tell me
Yeah.
my argument.
Huh?
Tell me the argument that I'm going to make about preservation of the Quran.
Preservation. It's been mahfoud. It's been recited by all the Sahaba, and it's been
What else?
written after how many years after Muhammad's death?
Well, you're the one
For
that knows my
40
argument.
years, 40 years or something like that. Anyway, so I know a little bit.
You think
yeah.
that's my argument?
No, I just think, maybe that's why you want to say, yes. But
It would have just been better if you just let me say what I want to say and then you respond to that.
Okay,
Because this
go ahead.
is
Sorry,
this is not
Yeah.
an argument. It's part of the argument.
part, okay.
The oral memorization and the chains of narration. But even before that, I'm establishing criteria.
Okay.
Do you think it's a good criteria for you to, if something's from God, it should not be changed? Not if something can be changed or not. You went somewhere else. Do you think it's a good criteria?
Why? Okay, something come from God, not be changed. Is that what you say?
Yeah, so I'm saying if something comes from God, should it be changed or not changed? What is the proper criteria?
Okay, we can say not be changed. Okay, but why did the Injil been changed? It's coming from God as well. Why did it change?
Good. The Injil was changed because
Why the Quran didn't come the first time and never be changed? Why did it change
the
later on?
Injil was changed because it was revealed to a group of people. It was not revealed for the end of time.
So now
the
you
Quran,
see what we're doing now? We humans, we debate these things, human things.
brother, it's a reason
now
that's
we
told
come
to
out-
us from Scripture. We're told this.
Now we're told you, this is human being thinking.
Yes,
this is
it's-
human beings' imaginations. And
No. It's human being thinking, not imagination. Thinking means that there is evidence that I've used to come to a conclusion. Imagination is
Evidence to come
not
to
really
conclusion.
based on evidence.
We human beings, we can think like this, but God is bigger than all this.
Absolutely. But let's go back
Yeah.
to the point. Yeah, you went somewhere, I went with
Yeah.
you. Let's come back.
We come back.
So a book that comes from God, you believe it's better that
I
that
think
book is
the book that
preserved.
comes from God is our brain. That's the only book that comes from God.
Brother,
He gave it to us
stay with
as
me.
a gift.
Stay with me. Stay with
and
me.
we need to use it very, very
That doesn't make
wisely.
any sense because
Muhammad
we talked
used
about
his
this.
brain. Muhammad used his brain, what
Yeah.
God gave him, and he made all these people believe in his, But he
With-
made one good
yeah,
thing
with
is
evidence.
he did say God is the only one, and he believed in God to be the only one. But the
Musaylama
only-
also
yes.
claimed to be a prophet. Tulayha also claimed to be a prophet. Sajjah also claimed to be a prophet. Joseph Smith also claimed. There's so many people that have made claims.
Yeah.
But they don't have the fastest growing religion in the world. Why? You don't get intellectuals and academics and farmers and all of these people from different walks of life believing in
still all
something
humans.
without
Yeah.
evidence.
They're
Yes,
still
brother, we're
human
human.
beings.
Yes, I agree, we're human.
Yeah.
We use brain.
Yeah.
We've already established we're
Yeah.
always going to use brain, hopefully. But there's a difference between imagination and logic. That's what you have to distinguish. I'm not asking you to accept an imagination. I'm asking you to accept something based upon evidence. Now, something to be something to be preserved. Do you know the oldest manuscript we have of the Quran?
Yeah.
Where is it? And how old is it?
Well, they said one here in London. Is it the old one they found recently?
Where?
Just a few pages here in London, somewhere in England.
Yes, Birmingham.
Birmingham, that's right. Yeah.
And do you know?
But do you know? There is no Fatiha. There is no points. There is nothing. It's just
Which country do you come from?
Morocco.
Do you have Fatha Dama Kasra on your writing?
Yeah.
You have it?
Yes.
What, in classical Moroccan Arabic?
Yes.
No.
Yeah, فتحة دماغ.
No.
Yeah, نقاط على الحروف.
Arabic doesn't use i'rab. Yeah? It's i'rab's only been added for the Ajamis. Yeah?
So you said in Arabic before it was just. So
Yes.
how do you distinguish between
بدون
ra?
بدون تشكيل جاء بدون
ولكن
تشكيل
how do you distinguish between ra and za?
لانك عربي
and ta and
لما
ta?
تقرا تعرف
تعرف.
الكلمات تكسر ولا ترفع ولا
ولا
Yeah.
بعض الأحيان لازم يكون خطأ بسيط.
لا ما يكون خطا
لا
لما تكون
لا كاين بعض
Now here's
الأحيان
the thing.
ممكن تكون
Yeah. So here's now the thing.
misunderstanding.
One second. Okay, that you're making good points. That's why I want to go back and forth with you. You understand using grammar and understanding of the of the language. That's how you determine it. Now, for people that don't understand, they rely on fatha dhamma kasra. Yeah. If you look at classical, you go to the books of Qurtubi and all of this, the classical texts, they don't have fatha dhamma kasra. Yeah, it was added later on. Yeah. Now, the early scripts, the lack of fatha dhamma kasra is actually proving that it is actually from the time of the Prophet / Uthman, that time period. In linguistics, it's called stylometry or stylometrics. It proves that it is dated to a time in which the Arab weren't added on. Now, basing that in mind and comparing that with the Quran we have today, there's 100% word accuracy. It's exactly the same to the Quran we have today. So if lack of i'rab means that people would be saying things differently and doing this, why is the Quran not different to the one we have today?
Okay, let's say cannot be just a coincidence. This happened with time.
Coincidence? What did you say straight away?
Happen.
Listen.
It could happen.
You said, this is your words. We're living in 2026, things change and it's very difficult. But I will say the same thing to you. We are in 2026. How is it that you only have one scripture that survived 1400 years ago? And
It's
there
not
is
long.
an immaculate
1400 years ago.
1400 years
It's not
ago.
so long.
In terms of historicity, it's very long. I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
Because in
You know
terms
why?
of
Because the believing on the idea or the believing on
Brother,
it made the people made people.
Let's his belief.
Sure,
His
it's
belief.
not been changed.
His belief. Put belief on the side for now.
What happened?
Absolutely. Put belief on the side for now. So far, we're just dealing with evidence. Stylometry and stylometrics is evidence. It's linguistic evidence. I gave you manuscript. Manuscript is evidence. It was carbon dated, that's evidence. Correct?
Yeah. Carbon dated, yeah.
Now, in terms of preservation, we're talking about the Quran being
Mahfuz.
preserved.
Because
Yes.
it's been mahfud,
Yes.
recited.
Yeah, it's been recited.
Recited, yeah.
But I'm not talking about the recitation, I'm talking about the manuscript, I'm talking about the writing. Why is the writing the same it was 1400 years ago to now? And you said in terms, how?
But people can sometimes do some things that are out
Okay.
of
So only the Quran,
our
yes?
imagination.
Only the Quran from the ancient religions.
That's why the Quran has this
Yes?
millions of people
There you
believing
go.
in it.
Belief or evidence?
Huh?
Belief, only belief or evidence?
But evidence and belief.
Ah,
But evidence, they think, yes.
Good, we are slowly changing now.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah.
So that's one criteria, preservation you've accepted.
Yeah.
What is another criteria for you to accept that this book is from God?
Well,
Let me give you a criteria because you're struggling. If something does not come from God, would it have contradictions or would it have no contradictions?
both.
That's
contradictions.
that in
They will
itself
have-
is a contradiction.
Yeah.
Because
But
remember
you
I
will
said
have-
A and
yes.
not A. You can't
Yeah.
have A and not A.
Yeah.
You can't have contradiction and not Okay, are you saying that there's a mix? Yeah?
Yeah,
There's a mix.
it's a mix.
So if there's a mix, that means there's contradictions in there, right? So you believe that the word of God can have contradictions in it.
So you say in the Quran there's no contradiction.
No,
at
I'm
all.
asking you at the moment your
Yeah.
criteria. Do you accept this criteria? That if something comes
Do I
from God,
accept? Yes.
do you accept that if something comes from God,
Yes. As a
it should not have contradictions in it?
If something comes from God, it should not have contradictions on it. Well, contradictions. Some people see the contradiction. Some
One
people
second,
don't
let him
see
think,
the
let him think.
contradiction. You know, some people see things different way again.
That's fine.
know?
I'm not talking about
Depend because Quran is
Yeah.
still
I'm
his.
not,
but-
yes, I'm not saying a contradiction based upon someone's interpretation of it.
Interpretation,
I'm saying
yeah.
contradictions
But
on
it
the
shouldn't
face
be
value. Shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Because contradiction is a sign of a
But in
defect
Quran
in
they
thinking,
say
right?
now-
One
they
second.
say-
One
okay,
second. Would you agree that a contradiction is a sign of a defect when it comes to thinking?
Okay, yeah.
For example, I say, "Oh, he is my uncle."
Yeah.
5 minutes later, I say, "Yes, this is my auntie."
Yeah. Well,
Am I intelligent or am I somebody that is incoherent?
no, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm
yes.
an incoherent person. Yeah.
Yeah.
So similarly,
Yeah.
if a book claims to be from God, it should not have contradictions in it.
Yeah.
The Bible has loads of contradictions in it. For
Yeah.
example, when Judas, they say Judas when he died, one thing of Judas dying is he hung himself. Another version of Judas dying is he fell on his face and his intestines came out.
Yeah. So
That's a
many,
contradiction.
Everybody have their own version and their own
Exactly, different versions.
Yes,
Yeah.
different versions.
So the Quran,
Luckily, Quran didn't have all that.
yeah. So Quran doesn't have contradictions.
Yeah.
Bible has
Yeah.
loads of contradictions.
Well, maybe Muhammad in that time he saw all these contradictions and he was making sure there is no contradiction on this one.
Okay, good. One second,
what
he was
one second,
arguing with me.
brother.
No
brother.
contradiction
brother.
on this one. This one has to be right.
Okay.
So he
And
knows.
one thing, and that's it.
And then he was
Yeah.
I'll take you there.
You know?
illiterate.
No, it's-
he was illiterate, but
Okay.
I wouldn't say illiterate because he was a businessman.
Yes. Good.
He was a businessman.
That's a
and
good
when
answer.
he
Because
was
just because the
traveling
prophet,
a lot, and just been around.
yeah, just because the
So he
prophet,
knows him. He knows what he's doing.
yeah, just
He
because.
sat with people like this and talk and
Yeah.
get
And what did he
debates.
say that?
Yeah.
What did he say
And
that
he's been,
copied?
uh,
he
all
was
the way
Tell him
to
about
the
Sumerian.
intelligent.
Tell him about the Sumerian.
One second,
Tell him
one
about.
second.
Well, he was asking me something.
Yeah.
Tell him
Remember-
about the
remember
Sumerian
this.
that you said, and you were arguing with me in the car.
About Sumerians.
Yeah,
Yes.
tell him.
No. What we were saying is,
Yeah, we will
Muhammad
come
was
to that.
traveling
We will come
around,
to that. Yeah.
and
He copied.
was
He copied
talking
from
From the
them.
Sumerians. Yeah.
talking to all the religious people debating like this.
Yeah.
Because we're in Mecca, Saudi Arabia at that time, it was like the desert. There was nothing there, but he was traveling, bringing stuff.
Copy and paste, yeah, according to you.
Bringing stuff. He was
Okay, now listen to the answer. Yeah. So according to your understanding,
yeah.
Muhammad, peace be
But
upon him.
Muhammad had a brain. He used his brain. God gave him to do what
With
he's
instruction.
done.
Don't forget.
You know?
You've-
And he did it right.
You've actually
Yes.
answered a misconception that a lot of people have for the Prophet, yeah? And the misconception is that just because the Prophet couldn't read or write, they use a different term and they say, oh, he was not intelligent or he was not smart.
was
No.
very
Yeah,
intelligent, very
exactly.
smart.
So there's a distinction
Smart
between
for his
not
time.
being able to read and write
Yes.
and intelligence.
That's right.
Yes,
That's
so
true.
we
That's true.
100%
Yes.
believe that he was knowledgeable, he was intelligent,
Very
he was
intelligent.
smart
Very
individual.
intelligent.
But that's
Very.
not the point that we're dealing with here.
Yeah.
What we're dealing with over here is your accusation or your theory that the Prophet wrote the Quran. Is this what you believe?
Yes. Maybe he did believe himself. He was sent by God. Maybe in that time of himself, he believed all these words come from him, come from God.
Okay.
And it did make sense there.
Okay.
With his intelligence, he used everything. It's not like, I wouldn't say he was doing it in purpose. Maybe he was doing it and was really believing in.
Okay.
He saw God and the only one, the Almighty. He did have so many points
understand.
about God.
I understand.
But what started, we human beings started to humanize.
Okay, one
it
second.
and-
Don't go back to the humanization thing
okay,
again.
yeah.
We're done now. We're
You know,
done now.
started to
Yeah,
humanize-
then we're going.
Yes.
Okay, so your theory is that the Prophet wrote down the Quran. Okay, so let's go back to the criteria. Your criteria was
Yeah.
think. We need to
Think. Yeah.
We think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one of the criterias of thinking, especially when it comes to text, is there's a field of study called stylometry, stylometrics, and there's stematics. Yeah, this is what I'm referring to now. Stematics. Yeah. Do you know peer-reviewed evidence?
Peer-reviewed
Peer-reviewed evidence.
Peer-reviewed evidence. Okay.
Do you know this?
No.
So in science, in terms of evidence, that's the highest form of evidence. That you write
Peer-reviewed.
peer-reviewed.
So-
You write a paper, and then the other academics, they read that paper and they affirm that what you have written
Yeah.
is true and it's correct
Based on facts.
based upon facts. Yeah,
Based
not on
on,
imagination. Yes,
teachable
yes.
facts.
Yeah. So it's scientific evidence. So when a paper gets published, your peers
Yeah.
check it, they critique it.
Yeah.
If it survives the criticism, then you publish it, and it's called a peer-reviewed
Yeah.
evidence or a paper. It's a rough kind of explanation I've given. You're with me, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So Halim Saud, he released peer-reviewed evidence in which he was comparing the authorship of the Quran with authorship of the Hadith.
Authorship of the Quran, authorship of Hadith. Yes.
He noticed 80% of what's in the Quran
Yeah.
in terms of wording,
Yeah.
in terms of sentence structure, is not in
80%.
80%. Is not in Hadith.
Okay. 80%.
80%.
Okay.
And
It's
60.
not in the Hadith.
Yeah. And 60% of the wording in sentence structure and all of this, 60% of what's in the Hadith is not in the Quran.
Ah, right, okay.
So he concluded that the authorship of the Quran is different to the authorship
Of the hadith.
of the Hadith.
Yeah, because hadith is
One
written by
second.
Bukhari and all that later
One
on.
second,
Yeah,
one
yeah,
second.
okay.
Because that's a different thing that you're saying. Benham Sadeghi, he released another paper in which he looked at sentence structure, word choices, how words and all of this are structured, and he concluded that the Quran and the Hadith are written by two different authors. And the Quran.
No, it's okay.
Sure.
Hold on.
I've the different.
No, it's okay.
Huh?
It's okay. Hold on.
You sure?
It's okay, thank you.
Poor guys feel cold.
Try
It's okay.
this.
No, wallah.
No,
No.
You're gonna get sick. You're gonna get sick.
Wallah, you're gonna
yeah,
get.
you're gonna
Yeah,
get-
yeah,
I
yeah.
will.
No.
I have
put it
some-
back.
no,
Put it
no,
back
no,
because
no,
you're gonna
yeah.
get cold. I'm already.
You got used to it anyway.
Yes.
We
yes.
told you to
Thank
wear
you.
warm when you're coming.
Yeah.
You don't get cold.
Yeah. Okay, so I've given you two peer-reviewed evidences where academics have
Difference
analyzed.
between hadith and Quran. Yeah,
They've
they found a big
analyzed.
difference.
Yeah, they've analyzed the wording, the sentence structure, the grammar, not belief, not because they're Muslim or anything, and it's been checked by non-Muslims, and they have agreed that the authorship of the Quran had one author, and the Hadith, of course, is the sayings of the Prophet that has a different author. So it can't be the same. Now, so that, what do you think about that? That when you say that the Prophet wrote the Quran, what's your response to that now?
No. When I say wrote the Quran,
Yeah.
sometimes when someone is so intelligent, the I don't know, they create things without, sometimes they create things and find things without them.
Okay. Now, are you saying that a field that is very new, the field of stemmatics and stylometry, let's be honest, a field that you were probably unaware of before this conversation, in the field of linguistics and manuscripts, that the Prophet 1400 years ago,
He was good at his time.
he could not read or write, and he was able to distinguish completely and utterly, or rather
That's what made him
80%,
special.
80% of his speech, he was able to make it so distinct from the Hadith, because the Quran he's saying and he's speaking, the Hadith he is saying and speaking. The Quran is coming circumstantially. Circumstantially meaning somebody would ask him a question and he would answer there and then. He would not prepare. Yeah? Sometimes someone would ask him for something.
But sometimes he does say, I don't know, and he has to wait for the God's
Wahi, yes.
Wahi to talk to him.
Yes.
Or sometimes he can.
So this is more evidence that
so many
that
stories
he
I've heard.
yeah. So sometimes exactly when they would ask him
He
something,
relies on.
he would say that I don't know, I'll have to wait for revelation, and he would have to wait.
Yes.
His own wife was accused of adultery. Yeah, and some say that he had to wait a month
Yes.
before clarification in the form of revelation came.
Yeah.
Now, had he been a fraud, had he been somebody that you're saying very intelligent, I know you're not saying
Not fraud, but
I know, I mean very intelligent.
Yeah.
If he was very intelligent, I don't know about you, but if I'm very intelligent, I'm not gonna be waiting 1 month to clarify if my wife is chaste or not chaste.
That's the intelligence.
It's the exact
That's
opposite.
No.
How is
you're-
waiting
yes,
1 month
you see it the
intelligence?
other way.
How is waiting 1 month intelligence?
Yes.
How?
Well,
Tell me.
It worked for him. In that time, it worked for him.
It didn't,
Well,
because many.
if it didn't, we would not talk about it now.
He had a hard
We
time
would talk
waiting.
about it
A hard
now.
time
the
waiting.
reason
You know
why
what I
I
mean?
say it didn't work was many people in those circles, even they started having questions and doubts. Even the father of Aisha was in shock.
Yeah.
That was a very close friend of the Prophet, peace be upon him, but even he was, just imagine a month, and you don't know whether you're coming or you're going, you can't go outside, you're ashamed. That 1 month for somebody, the Prophet, why do you believe that he claimed to be a prophet? For what gain?
What did he gain?
Well, no, just people saw this.
Why? Why did he want
saw
to be
him
prophet?
different in that time.
Why did he want to
And
be prophet?
They saw him different.
He said,
Thinks
"Ana
different
khatam,
things.
ana khatamun nabiyyin. I'm the last of
Yeah.
the prophets." Why is he claiming to be a prophet? Let's just say, if he's not a prophet, why? Let's go through.
Because he thinks he's a prophet.
Okay, I think I'm a potato.
Well,
Potato.
But
They
no,
can
potato
prove
is
to-
different from being a prophet.
Okay,
It's not the same.
okay. I
So,
claim
just
to
think-
be. I claim to be a media mogul.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but
Are you gonna believe me?
No. If you don't just claim.
Ah.
You need to show me something to.
Good. That's it. Evidence.
Even,
Proof.
No, proof. But I need to see those sifat on you, those
Good.
qualities on you.
Good.
Yes.
So the
People
prophet.
saw those qualities on him.
Okay, like what?
Yeah. The prophetry to tell people to believe in one God.
At
You
a
know?
time where they were worshipping idols.
At the time when they were worshipping idols. That's
Why would he tell people to worship one God and
Because
alienate his own family?
He knew that's the right thing to do, is to worship one God there.
And where did he get this information from?
I don't know. He just used his brain. He used his brain to think it.
To think that there's
Yeah,
one
he
God.
was smart. He was that only thinking. He thought, oh, these people what they're doing is wrong. So he used his brain that God gave him.
In the
God
cave,
gave him, and
in the cave where the
he
angel
came into
came to
this
him.
conclusion.
In the cave when the angel came to him,
You know?
and squeezed him. Iqra.
He had all these
Yeah.
feelings.
Ah,
And
Nabi Khari.
maybe he had those feelings. We all have sometimes these
he
feelings,
didn't say
those dreams, or those things.
He said Jibreel alayhi salam. He said
Yeah.
Jibreel came and said Iqra, and then squeezed me.
Yeah.
There's no feeling.
No, no.
He
We
said-
don't know how he felt that
No,
time.
he said
how-
this. We have his sayings.
Yes.
So he's an intelligent man.
Yeah.
He's made a claim. Do you accept this claim of his?
His claim, I accept some things, and I don't accept so many things.
But he said, as an intelligent man,
Yes.
that an angel came and squeezed him and told him to recite, and then gave the revelation.
Okay.
Iqra bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure about that.
Okay, what evidence do
Yes.
you require?
Jamal, unless if you don't want to be convinced, nobody in the world can convince you. Right?
I know,
That's
yes.
the first thing you need to be prepared to be convinced.
Yes.
If you on a stubborn mode and you don't
No,
want to
I'm not in
convince,
stubborn mode.
people will not convince you. You
Yeah.
keep saying same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. You need to just like work together and say this is the type of things. Because me and you had a conversation. I don't have much knowledge. I wrote to my brother to talk to you.
I've just thought of another question. Do you think the Prophet Muhammad was the only intelligent person in his vicinity?
I would say yes. He's very intelligent to do what he did. Yes.
He's the only one. There's no one more intelligent than him.
There is, but he was in the right time, at the right place, at the right moment, at the right environment.
What
You
made
know,
that
too
the-
many things put together, which is made him really.
Okay,
But
that's
God gave him that brain, and he used it very well. And
okay. Okay, now listen to what you said.
And he did guide people into God, but I think it's the right thing to do. But all humanizing God, thinking God is the all that.
The humanizing, I get that, yeah.
So that's
Okay.
where I think it's wrong.
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
So let's go
where I
back to your
think it's
point.
wrong.
So you're saying,
My point.
yeah, so you're saying that the Prophet was at the right place at the right time. I'm going to argue and show you how that's completely false. Yeah? The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was an Arab. He was around people that were Ahlul Kitab. Yeah? The people of the book. The people of the book have a lineage. Which people of the Christians and Jews, yeah? Ahl Kitab.
Jews in Medina,
Jews and
yes.
Christians.
Mecca, they were only Quraysh.
No, Salman Farsi and Abdullah bin Salam.
Suhaib al-Rumi.
Yeah, they were Christians and Jews.
Yeah, okay.
They accepted Islam.
Yeah.
So when he was around such individuals and he's talking about what's in the book, he's talking about the book. It
Quran.
doesn't. No.
Quran. Their book.
Yeah, he's talking about their book.
Their book, yeah.
They accept prophets that come in their lineage, in the lineage of Ishaq. The prophet was from the lineage of Ismail.
Prophet from lineage of Ismail, the Jews on Ishaq.
Yeah, exactly. So only maybe a few prophets like Hud alayhi salam and a handful were Arab. The rest were from the lineage of Bani Israel. The prophet is claiming to be from the lineage of Ismail, which already puts him at a disadvantage. Disadvantage number one. Disadvantage number two. Prophets that normally came, they came in an established society. Something was already established for them. The prophet came in Mecca, where people were making tawaf of the Kaaba naked. There were 360 idols. They were burying their daughters alive. It was the wrong time to come, because let me tell you why objectively. I'll tell you evidence. I'm using
I think
brain.
it's the right time. You think it's the wrong time?
No, I will tell you why. You think it's the right time.
Yeah.
Persia, Romans, they thought it was wrong time. Quraysh thought it was wrong time. I'll give you the example. Persia was the empire that was neighboring Arabia. They didn't take over the Arabs because they thought they were so lost, they were so useless that they didn't bother even taking over them. They said leave them. So did the Romans. The Romans didn't bother. The surrounding empires.
There's nothing there really.
There's nothing there to take.
Yeah.
Now you said this. There's nothing there to take.
Yeah.
There's no infrastructure there.
Yeah.
There's no
Sahara,
consistent
sand.
law there.
Yeah.
There's sand there.
Yeah.
There's no, way to connect and, do all of this.
Yeah.
This is where the prophet was.
Yeah.
In a very disadvantaged area.
Yeah.
And this individual, listen.
Disadvantaged area, he can come out.
In a disadvantaged area, it
He has
makes
the advantage. And he come out.
a disadvantaged area, it's less likely for you to come
I
out.
think it's more likely
Because look,
to come out.
for an intelligent man,
yes.
if someone offers
it's
me
more likely.
these two people, let's just say I'm an intelligent man.
Yeah.
These two people come with an investment. He says the investment that I'm giving you has a 90% chance of return. He comes and says the investment has a 5% return.
Yeah.
I'll slap him in the face and I will hug him very close.
He took a risk.
But here's the thing now.
took the risk.
Me being an intelligent man, me being an intelligent man means that I am able to weigh out the pros and the cons. Yeah? I don't deliberately put myself in a negative situation, and I don't deliberately put myself in the hopes that, I can play on the odds. That's a risk. For me now to risk my family, like he risked losing his wife.
You need to take big risks to achieve things.
Let's look at his risk. Let's look. He lost his wife. He lost his daughters. Yeah. His own uncles turned against him. Yeah. His own uncle and uncles died on disbelief. Abu Jahl, Abu Lahab, Abu Talib. They died on disbelief. There's even a question mark on his parents. What sort of risk is this?
Exiled.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It was a big risk.
So
it worked out okay in the end
and then
for
on
him.
top of that, he moves to a place, Al-Madinah, called Yathrib. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Why are you moving to a place that's named after disease and your companions are now dying?
Yeah.
Oh, it's another risk.
Yeah.
Okay, now Badr. You're 313 against an army of 1,000. You have sticks and spades, and you're going and you're defeating army after army after army after army.
Magnificent.
Very, very risk. Now,
magnificent story. Yes,
So-
I agree
so
with you.
it's
all these things you just talked about.
It's historical
made
fact.
him- yes, all these historical facts made him who he is now.
okay, if someone was a prophet, do you
Made him
believe?
who he is.
Do you believe if somebody was a prophet, that they would?
He is a prophet in some way.
In some
I'm
way,
not
yeah.
saying Is the Prophet in some way bringing us that unity of God, to believing in one God? Yes. But everything else is just human thinking and human
I
thoughts.
think 50% now you start to agree.
No. What did I say?
What you
No,
argue
what did
with
I
me
say?
now, so in some way I
I
believe
did
there is
say-
a prophet. That's
No.
a good outcome.
Prophet. No, I said.
That's a
You
good
understand what I'm
outcome.
saying?
Yeah.
A prophet
But you
somehow.
believe he's a prophet in
because
some regard.
In
Yeah.
some
In some
regard
capacity.
of him thinking there is only one God and the only God. So worship.
But Jews also
That's
believed in one God, right?
Because everybody was worshiping something then. That's
But
why he wanted
Jews also
us to
believed in one
worship
God.
God.
Jews also believed in one God, right?
The Jews also believed in one God, in a different
And
way.
their scripture is not preserved. They have loads of contradictions and mistakes in there. Today you see them doing things that are going against common sense, brain, killing babies, waging wars.
Oh, that's not again. We're talking politics. It's a
Yeah,
mix.
but it's a
If
reality,
you,
right?
No, if you see the Judaism itself, it's not well.
Okay, I will give you evidence then.
Yeah.
In the Old Testament, in the book 1 Samuel, you go to chapter 15 and you go to verse 3. 1 Samuel 15 verse 3. I can show you, I have the Bible as well, yeah? It says, with regards to the Amalek, kill the men, women, infants, and the babies. Kill them all. If you ask the Jew, your laws, how many are there? They would say 613.
But they can say same thing about Islam as well. They could say same thing.
There is not one single ayah, one hadith that says it's okay for you to kill baby.
No, any human being, not just a baby. Baby is a human being as well.
I'm talking about
human
baby.
being.
I'm talking about baby.
No,
Human
don't
being.
hold only on baby.
The reason why I'm talking only about baby is human being. You can make the argument that human being is bad. Baby, you can agree. Listen, baby. Listen, you and me, we can agree. Baby is innocent. Agreed? Baby is innocent.
But still.
No, not still.
Not.
You can never kill babies, brother.
I know.
Yes.
No, nobody. You can never kill anybody.
No, you can. If somebody comes to kill your family and you have a knife, are you just going to sit there, use that knife to scratch your armpit? No. You're going to do something, brother.
You defend yourself.
You're going to do...
Defending yourself.
You're gonna... What is it? Kali, or what is it?
Yeah, but they have a lot of things to say about Islam as well. They say, "Oh no,
brother,
you're
stick
killing
with
this,
the point.
killing
Stick
that,
with the
killing
point.
that." So they both have.
My maths tutor, when he was teaching me algebra, he said, "Monkey with the monkey and the donkey with the donkey." Yeah, because you put the X's on one side, you put the Y's on one side.
Yeah.
In other words, if we're talking about killing babies here, then the
In their
comparison,
side, yeah.
we do a like for like. Monkey with the monkey. Yeah? So over here, they have in their scripture killing babies is okay.
Well, that's why Muhammad, he was smart in his time and he changed all this, to make it the right thing, and he created the religion. Same time, told us to believe in one God. So,
but here's the point that
there is a mix there between human touch, and to take you to believe in one God. So,
you know the way you say it, there's a limit to human intelligence. Human intelligence reaches a point that if a person is winning all the battles, he is making a distinction between his speech and the speech of God. He is responding and making prophecies that are accurate, that people 1400 years after he has passed away, they are verifying that what he said was correct. It was accurate. It was precise. The Bible, the literature, you said he was doing debating. In the Bible, it says that that the rulers at the time of Joseph, they were pharaohs. The Quran says that the leaders at the time of Joseph were kings.
okay.
It doesn't say pharaohs. Now, there was no way for people at that time to check who was right, who was wrong. Only afterwards, 1,000 years after the Prophet passed away, they found the Rosetta Stone, and they were able to decipher hieroglyphics, and they realized that the Pharaoh dynasty started after Joseph.
Where is Ali?
That it started after Joseph. So historically the Prophet was accurate. In terms of what he was saying, he was accurate. In terms of prophecy, he was accurate. You said in terms of his moral, he was good character, and all of this, he was character. He took risks, and all of the risks that you've said, he came out on top. Brother, there comes a time where a person says this is where human intelligence stops, and this is where you get your intelligence from God. God is now helping that person. God is now advising that person. God is now revealing to that person what to do and what to tell the person.
Yeah, is it not just God give us this brain and you just used it better than what?
Better than everyone?
Better than everyone? Could be.
If someone is using their brain better than everybody,
Yeah.
and everybody else is not using their brain properly, and everyone has a brain, that means there's something special being inputted into that brain that's not being inputted into the other brains.
The other brains,
For example, if I have access to ChatGPT and no one over here has access to ChatGPT, the answers that I'll be able to give if I'm permitted to use it will be different to the answers that you give
Everyone
completely. Why? Because the input I am getting is different. Similarly, if the Prophet, according to your admission, is giving answers different to everybody else, then surely the inference to the best explanation, using our brain, using our logic, we come to the conclusion that there must be an external, knowledgeable entity assisting and guiding the Prophet. And it must be God. Because either it's God or a demon.
Well, do you
Do you
think
believe
he was
it's God or a
just,
demon?
He was no, not demon. What do you
Must
mean,
be
God?
God.
Yeah,
So,
yes, no.
God.
Yeah, God.
Repeat after me. Ashhadu Allah
Allah
ilaha
ilaha illallah
illallah wa ashhadu
anna
anna no, say
Muhammadan
wa ashhadu
ashhadu
anna
Muhammad
abduhu
abduhu
wa rasuluhu.
Okay, rasuluhu.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Let's talk into